What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and I love a hotel bed with some tucked in sheets. Let's talk about the game.
Elbow, forearm, he's going to be down.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
And then the flag that was thrown on this was picked up.
I don't know, did it get the face mask?
So by rule, the game is over.
The Lions Hangover.
All right, so the Lions get the win. This is going to be kind of a weird episode because I can't reference any of the stats or anything because I don't have a computer with me. I just got my phone, and I am looking into the camera right now. But I believe the final score was 15-9. Is that right? But yeah, what a good game. The first half was the most exciting, boring game, if that makes sense. There were some big plays on defense. Not really any big plays on offense, not from the Lions standpoint. Aiden Hutchinson got his first career interception, which is amazing. Really happy for that dude. And I have to say kudos to Kirby Joseph. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite players on the team. He did go out with an injury in the second half. Him and Jeff Okudah collided. Hopefully he will be okay. I know Okudah came back out. The Lions, though, they really didn't have a huge impact on offense. Most of their big plays did come on defense. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 interceptions today. Kirby Joseph had 2 of those. There were some controversies throughout the game. I know that with some of the calls. I feel like for the most part, the refs got them right. I would have appreciated a more in-depth look at the end with that fumble that Okudah likely recovered, but he was rolling out of bounds, so maybe he didn't have complete possession. At first, I did not think he had possession, but as I kept seeing the replay, I was like, you know what? He might have had the ball, but there was not an official booth review on that. So, excuse me. So we will never know for sure what the refs were thinking. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because the Lions end up winning it. Rodgers did not play that great. I thought Green Bay's defense played decent, but the Lions' offense really did not test them. DeAndre Swift was out most of the game. He made appearances here and there, but you could tell that they were babying him because they want to take it easy on his shoulder and ankle injuries. But he honestly looked like he was okay, so I'm not exactly sure where he's at with his injuries there. Another injury note is Malcolm Rodriguez. He went out with, it looked like an elbow injury. He did come back for a play, but then he ended up sitting out the rest of the game. So that makes me think that he's probably okay, but he just needed a little bit more time to rest it. Yeah, it was tough today, though. I had to watch the game on tape delay, so I deleted all of the social media on my phone. I texted everybody that I thought would text me, like, spoilers or updates or anything like that. And I successfully was able to avoid finding out if the Lions won or not. I was convinced I heard somebody say something, but it indicated that the Lions were losing. So apparently either they were just talking in general or they were talking about somebody else. But yeah, what an exciting game. I am out of town, so it is just going to be sort of a shorter episode, something weird, a little bit more editorialized. I don't have the stats right in front of me. But man, what a good game. It was fun. It was exciting, even when there wasn't a whole lot of offense going on. This mini fridge door keeps bothering me. So I got you up underneath the TV because it looked the most like a desk, and I like this angle, and I like this lighting, and I like seeing the bed in the background. So that's where we're at with that. But yeah, back to the game. It was really good. Not super impressed with Jared Goff today. I feel like he made some horrible decisions, some horrible throws. But it turns out that the Lions weren't necessarily missing Hawkinson for this game. They used both of their tight end replacements. Mitchell got his first touchdown, and Zylstra got his first touchdown, both tight ends, both in the place of Hawkinson. So it turns out that hopefully that's okay. I'm happy for both of those guys. And again, the Aiden Hutchinson interception was just amazing, and Kirby Joseph with his 2 interceptions, that was also amazing. I did see a stat where it said that was the first time that Aaron Rodgers has ever thrown 2 interceptions in the red zone in a game before. So I'm happy that we finally have a little record of significance against Aaron Rodgers instead of, because usually it's always like, hey, well, let's watch some Aaron Rodgers highlights, and 80% of them are against like the Lions and stuff. And it's like, of course you've got highlights against the Lions, but yeah, finally we got some highlights against Aaron Rodgers. So it was wonderful to see. It was still riding high off the victory. Yeah, just amazing. So happy we won. It was, of course, a victory in a way that only the Lions could have a victory, because it always comes down to the last second. I was really nervous, biting my fingernails, jittery, but it was worth it. So worth it. The defense played really great, I thought, today. I know Green Bay has had its struggles, but the defense still made stops when they needed to. I thought the secondary played pretty good. Defensive line played pretty good. I saw a couple holds, not necessarily against Hutchinson, but I saw a couple holds that weren't called on Green Bay and that they should have. Oh, and a couple delay of game penalties that should have been called. One particular, when Aaron Rodgers scrambled like 15 yards for that first down, I was like, this better not be a first down. That's what I was screaming, because it probably went 2 seconds past 0 for the delay of game, and the refs never called it or anything like that. So I feel like they got away with some stuff, but I also feel like we got away with a couple things as well. I think there was a pass interference called near the end. Oh, I forget who it was, but it was against Lazard, I believe, and it was near the end of the game. So I think we got away with one there. But man, overall, that's just off the top of my head. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I talked about Goff, talked about Swift, talked about Hawkinson and the tight ends touchdowns, the injuries. Man, I hope Kirby Joseph is okay. He made a huge difference today. Without him, I'm not sure we would have had a victory, because those 2 interceptions were so needed, desperately needed, and perfectly timed. Both of them were in. Well, one of the red zone interceptions was Hutchinson. The other one was Joseph. So, but either way, really good. Next week we play Chicago. It's a team we need to beat. We can beat. Justin Fields is going to give us trouble, though. He's a scrambling quarterback, not necessarily a thrower, but the Lions have yet to play well against a quarterback that can scramble. So that does worry me. Chicago's a dumpster fire. Like, we should dominate Chicago, and you would think that we will be running high, and Dan Campbell will get his first road win as a coach. Chicago seems like the perfect place to do that. However, because Justin Fields is a scrambler, that's just going to give us problems. And he can throw the ball, but he's not going to burn us by throwing. We're going to beat ourselves, if anything. There's going to be, I feel like we are going to fear his run so much. We're not going to fear it, but we're just not going to be able to stop it. But it is going to throw us off for when he does decide to throw it. So I look for a tough game in Chicago, but definitely winnable. Definitely winnable, because Chicago is not as good as their record indicates. I can't remember if they won today. I'm sorry. My brain is mush. It's been a long day traveling and all that. But we can beat them. We can beat them. And I don't think they have a wide receiver that we should necessarily be afraid of. David Montgomery. I do like him. I'm not sure if he's injured right now or not. I'm trying to think. I haven't heard much from him this season. but that might not be for any other reason than just me not paying attention. So that happens too. Other than that, I think that's it. We'll keep it short, under 10-minute episode this week. Thanks for watching. Man, what an awesome game. It was so good. It was low scoring. It was the most exciting low scoring game ever. I mean, there was only 3 touchdowns in the entire game, but it felt like so much happened. So, yeah, hopefully we can get our first road win of the season next week against the Bears, and I will be back home and in the studio for that. So I'll be a little bit more organized and I'll be able to recap the game a little bit better. Right now I'm just going off of memory. So, but thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Don't forget you can find me on YouTube. If you're listening to this, you can find me on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you're watching this. And of course, find me on all social medias. I usually like to do a Twitter poll, but I wasn't able to put up a Twitter poll this week because I was traveling. So sorry about that. I will try to come up with a cool little question for everybody that wants to do a poll on Twitter. So, but that's at Lions Podcast. That's at the Lions Hangover Podcast. See? Brain is mush. So, anyway, let's blame it on daylight savings time. So, okay. You guys have a good rest of your Sunday night and Monday and rest of the week because it's Victory Monday now. And I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.